Welcome to Cantina. Grab a drink, sit back, and relax.
Guys, we don't even have time for an intro. No intro. New Star Wars game trailer out of absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Star Wars Eclipse, no doubtably the game that we knew was coming and did not expect it to come when it came, which is today. The trailer is here. Small little reaction. Gonna give some of my thoughts, some things that I like. Very, very, very excited. So let's go ahead and get right into it. This might be Jeddah back in the heyday. Who knows? Looks like Jeddah. Also kind of looks like the market on Batuu. Notice that the hanging lights. Swoop by gang, let's go. Yoda. Tell me that's not Revenge of the Sith right there. Revenge of the Sith vibes. Early protocol droids, I'm all about it. I need to know the significance of the Eclipse. There's something. Dude, the music it's got me so hyped. Trade Federation. Who's this army? Who is it? Looks epic. First of all, trailer 10 out of 10. Let's just get that out of the way. 10 out of 10. This is one of the most Star Wars things we've gotten in some time. We have been on a downward slope, in my opinion. Yes, excited about Book of Boba Fett. Okay, don't get me wrong. Excited about Book of Boba Fett. I am way more excited about this. This looked Star Wars, this looked original, and it's amazing to see even though it's just a trailer, what Star Wars looks like video game without EA and DICE. DICE has proven that they have multiple issues going on with their new Battlefield game and leadership and all them moving away from DICE and EA, period. Wow. Just a couple of things bit by bit. Definitely want to know what the purpose of the Eclipse is. Obviously, I'm sure, we'll find that out in the game. Loved the new species at the end. Reminded me of, spoiler alert for Eternals, but reminded me of the humanoid at the end of Eternals. Loved the drumming, loved the tribal aspect of the game. Some of the tribal stuff we've seen is in like the Tartakovsky Clone Wars, where Anakin goes through his Jedi Knight trials. And then, Tusken Raiders to a certain extent are also tribal. But the drumming and all that, very Japanese. Last Samurai, all that kind of stuff with the big drums reminds me of, I've never been to Japan, but Epcot, they do the big drumming show. Super loved that. All the tribal tattoos on them once again. I really do think that it is Jeddah. At least that's what it looked like to me. And I love that scene in that market area, whether it is Jeddah, Batu, whatever the case may be, is we kind of see those three different characters at once, right? We get the Mon Calamari, we get the kind of like the market guy, the seller, he's got like the produce or whatever it is over his shoulder with the little monkey. And then we have kind of like that bounty hunter looking character. And then we get Yoda, and then we get two other Jedi. And then we have this like big army. One thing that I think could benefit in Star Wars is having this overarching story that is taking place from multiple POVs, right? Some of my favorite Star Wars books are when it's taken from multiple POVs and you kind of see the larger picture, right? You kind of get to step back, and it would be really cool to see all of these different characters, kind of like how you don't really get to choose your own path. There's a story laid out, and the story jumps around from character to character to character, almost like Star Wars Battlefront 2 did, ironically, evolved with EA, but the story was so good, just like we talked about on the last podcast episode. And that game specifically goes from, being an Imperial to being Han to being Luke, to being just all these people in the same story, in the same timeline. One thing that's cool is, eclipses really only last, on average, like 4 to 6 hours or something like that. Sometimes even less, 3 to 6 hours. I'm wondering if the events of this game are a culmination and the whole story takes place over this short period of time. And then you have to deal with all the ramifications of whatever it is through this short period of time. This one eclipse give, people power to do something. I don't know, something like that. This is confirmed to be High Republic era, so we do know that we will most likely not see any sort of Sith or dark side users. As we saw in the trailer, we saw two Jedis fighting each other. One thing that is concerning, if you have followed E3 for some time, the big video game conference we get every year where we get new releases. Unfortunately, when we are getting cinematic stuff and no gameplay, this game is far out. This game is really far out. We've heard nothing about it, and we get just a cinematic trailer. This game is going to be like December 2023, I'm telling you. And that's like if it doesn't get delayed. Like there's a time frame that we're getting this game, which is nowhere soon, and it's most likely going to get delayed. It's just the way that video games have been in the last few years. The game, seriously, it looks beautiful. The space battle at the end, I have I'm looking at like a still shot. It is definitely between some sort of the Trade Federation. We see the droid control ships and these other star cruisers, which I'm assuming is this army that we're seeing in the trailer that has that triangle type symbol on them. And this is crazy because, like, what if this is the events that lead us into the prequels, right? This is how the Trade Federation, who gets a lot of hate in the prequels, and rightfully so, intergalactic trade is not exactly what I go to my Star Wars for, but their rise of power could be a story that we could have interest in, and we just never knew. And we see a ton of these droid control ships. And once again, showing the space battle is not a coincidence. Showing the lightsaber combat is not a coincidence. One thing that we didn't see is we didn't kind of see like the gunslinger, right? It kept more of a narrow one of three lanes that we see in Star Wars, right? Once again, didn't kind of really see the bounty hunter, didn't see any Mandalorians. Obviously, we're not going to see Empire because of the time frame. Once again, it's confirmed to be High Republic, and I wasn't a huge fan of High Republic, but this has got me very, very interested. Once again, I think this is one of the most Star Wars looking things we've gotten since Mandalorian Season 2. I hope that we continue to get more about it. Now, there is articles on StarWars.com already. You can also go to StarWarsEclipse.com for more information, but the information on both websites is the same. It basically just confirms that this is in the High Republic, and that's really all the information that we get. The studio itself, huge studio, multiple successful games. Their most successful one I looked it up beforehand. It's not one that I played, but it had great reviews. And of course, the name is escaping me. Human something is the big studio is the point. Big studio, good studio. And this looked like that kind of like that Real Engine that we've been getting so much lately. And it's just like the old Republic stuff that just got remastered in 4K. So if we continue to just get hype stuff like this, I've been on record as saying, like, honestly, moving forward, like, animated Star Wars has been so good. If we could get more steady, solid animated Star Wars content, just forget the live action stuff. Like, you're like 4 out of 6 for your last movies, you know. Not in my opinion. I love Solo, but, you know, general public and, you know, other things, you're like 2 for 6 out of your last movies. And I'm blown away. There's so much here that I almost don't even have. I almost don't even know what else to say. Once again, I'm really hoping that these are new places. I do think that this looked more like a Jeddah, and the whole Yoda scene. I want to talk about that as I close this. I never kind of thought like we'd be there again and we'd see this again, because it reminded me of like Revenge of the Sith, like when Anakin's like looking at the Jedi Temple, or he's looking across at his apartment, you know, while he's being told to wait. And, you know, the sun's setting, and it just a super cool feeling. You know, Yoda could be an NPC, whatever the case may be, or maybe you play as Yoda. You know, who knows? We don't know. Super excited for this game. I hope that we just I hope that we get more information. Guys, thank you for watching this little reaction. Comment down below. What was your favorite part? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Leave a thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. Don't forget, Book of Boba Fett coverage starts on December the 30th. The day after the first episode, we will have our episode live. Find us wherever you find podcasts, and we appreciate your support.